Hey there YouTube, this is Vargas XX78 with another collection pickup video. This is a pickup video exclusively of movies. I'm only going to talk about movies in this one. I have actively been trying to cut down on movies. I did get, and I did add some movies to the collection, but these were movies that my wife already owned, and then we just added to the single collection. Then there's some other movies I got that I'm going to talk about. And these last 2 weeks, I did go back to buying movies from Movie Freak Bazaar. And he brought in a bunch of cool movies, and I picked them up. Which are key movies that I need to complete my filmography. So, like I said, exclusively movies, so let's get started. First off, it's movie related, so I'm gonna add this here. But Cinepolis came out with their promotional cup for the new Ghostbuster film. Now, granted, I'm not generally a fan of remakes. I don't like the idea of Hollywood being so devoid of ideas that they're remaking any movie they can get the rights to. I don't like that. I don't think that's. It's kind of sad to see that the well is so dry that this is what they have to resort to, making remakes of everything, or adaptations, or what have you, or reimaginings. So the new Ghostbusters movie, a lot of people say, rightly so, that it doesn't look good. The trailers have not been that convincing. And the last music video that they made for the Ghostbusters theme is horrible. But I'm a sucker for bad movies. I like going out and seeing train wrecks. So I'm out of morbid curiosity, I am going to see it. But I like the cup. I like the cup because it's the classic Ghostbuster logo. So I didn't have a Ghostbuster cup in my cup collection, and now I do. And again, it's the classic. I can only say it's the classic Ghostbusters and not the remake. And I'm not going to pay full price to watch the new Ghostbuster film. I have some 2-for-1 tickets for the same movie theater, and I can go in a matinee. So I'll get it cheap, and I'll still use the 2-for-1 ticket. So I'm not going to pay full price to watch that. No, if it's a train wreck, I'll just laugh at how horrible it is, and I won't feel bad about paying full price. But it still might surprise us. It might actually turn out to be a good movie, and if it turns out to be a good movie, I'll eat my own words, and I'll tell people, you know what? At first, I thought it was going to be crap, and it turned out to be a really good movie. You don't know it might happen. Doubtful, but it might happen. And if not, then I'll say that it was pretty bad. So yeah. So I'm gonna start talking about movies. This is a movie that my wife. These first batch of movies are movies that my wife had. She had these on her collection, but they were kind of lost between her stuff. So we were going through some stuff, and these movies came up. So we're just going to integrate those movies into our general collection. So the first one is a movie she got from her time. She actually worked in a video store a while ago. Not that long ago, but a while ago. And when that closed out, she bought all these movies, which is where most of these came from. So this is Una película de huevos. This was one of those web cartoons that became really popular at the start of the 2000s. It was about these eggs, and the segment that I enjoyed the most was the segment about these egg actors, but they're like Shakespearean actors. And then they would get drunk between takes, and then by the end of the cartoon, they were all drunk and talking slurred and everything, and that segment was always funny. But they had a couple of other stuff, and this one is a feature-length movie of that. They thought that that would be the web cartoon was so popular that it merited a cartoon, which is something that today it still happens to this day. But most of the characters aren't there. The humor's there, but the characters from the web cartoon aren't there. It's its own little thing, and that's actually pretty cool that they didn't stick to the formula of the web cartoon. It's its own little story. So at least that's cool. The animation is the same animation from the web series, so it's nothing really to write about. This one I actually bought for her, and I guess we just misplaced it, but this is the sequel to 30 Days of Night, Dark Days. I actually bought this for her because we watched 30 Days of Night, and she liked that movie, and I told her there was the sequel, which I didn't know, so she was interested in seeing it, and I saw it somewhere, I don't remember where, and I bought it for her, and we watched it, and it's not as good as the first 30 Days of Night. This follows, it's not the same actress, but it follows the main character from the first one, where she's trying to convince people that vampires are real, and these vampires, in the first one, it explained that the vampires became a legend because they basically eliminated any witnesses. And then this one, it's kind of like vampires are a lot more organized. They're not savage animals like in the first one. They're actually a little bit more organized, so they actively hunt her down. Yeah, it's not as good as the first one. But yeah, that's integrated into our mutual collection. Then this one is Despicable Me, but this is the Mexican cover, Mi Villano Favorito, Blu-ray and DVD. We really dig these movies, even though the Minions are a combination of the Simpsons and the rabbits from Raven Rabbits on the Wii. But they're really charismatic characters, and the movie itself is pretty cool. We still have to actually get Despicable Me 2, but that's being integrated. Then Toy Story 3, that's also being integrated. She already owned this, so this is being integrated into our animated collection, which is actually going to be our daughter's animated collection. But this is the Blu-ray DVD combo pack, plus another disc of special features. And the other one of hers that is being integrated into our mutual collection is Enchanted, but the Spanish Encantada. This was actually a lot of fun. I saw this again with my wife, and this is actually pretty cool. It's pretty cool how their take on how they took the classical Disney tropes, and then how a person from real life would look at them, and a character from the Disney cartoons were suddenly thrust into the real world. I liked it. I thought this was pretty cool. So this was pretty enjoyable, and it has one of them shiny covers. Yeah, Enchanted. Then these here in TJ, the side TV show for The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, was recording. It's been recording for the whole of their season. That they're recording actively, and downtown they closed down a couple of streets so they can record the show there. And when that happens, when something big happens, a lot of people come out and they start filling the surrounding streets with curios and little keychains and stuff like that. And really randomly, I wasn't really going to actively. I had to work, so I wasn't going to go there. But on my way out of work, the people were still there, and this guy had 2 movies. Just randomly, he had a whole bunch of stuff, and he had 2 movies, which one is in really bad condition, one's actually pretty pristine. But the first one is Time Rider. I know of this movie because I watch a YouTube channel called Good Bad Flicks, and he usually talks about movies that might seem... I like his channel because he has the kind of same sense that I do, that I and him enjoy really bad movies, and he showcases movies that a lot of people might think they're bad, but they're actually enjoyable. And he talked about this one. He talked about this movie. It's this like derby racer that gets stuck in some kind of time experiment, and he's sent back in time to the time of cowboys and the Old West. Think kind of like Back to the Future 3, but a little less budgety. And I'm a sucker for time travel movies. I love time travel movies. What-if stories and time travel movies are things that I really enjoy. And this one is very interesting for a plot twist at the end, which I saw his video review of this, and I'm like, wow, that's interesting. So yeah, I picked that one up just because of that YouTube channel. And the other one's an old cartoon. This is The Mark of Sorrow. The old one from... When did this... 1940. So this is really, really old. It's in black and white. But the Zorro, I liked the Antonio Banderas movie of the Zorro. And I know that the Zorro is inspiration for Batman. So yeah, it was there. It was dirt cheap, honestly. So I'm like, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. I like me some old classic black and white. And it's a lot of people don't like black and white movies. They think they're really boring. But I enjoy them. I enjoy classic cinema. Now these I already talked about in the video. But again, this is the movie pickup video, so I'm putting them in here. And they're Movie John 75's movies that he sent in that package video I did. But these are so good that I'm going to talk about them again. And I got from him Chop, which I have yet to see. The problem with horror movies is that my wife doesn't like horror movies, so it's kind of hard to watch it. And we usually spend all our free time with our kid. And I don't want to watch horror movies with our little baby girl because she's still kind of baby. I want to slowly introduce her to the horror genre, but when she's a little bit older and she can process stuff better. But I still have to sit down and watch Chop, which I still think is really funny because this guy, in the cover anyway, looks a lot like a Mexican comedian actor that we have here. And he's done a bunch of stuff recently in Hollywood. But if you can look up a picture of Eugenio Derbez, looks just like this guy. It's freaky how much he looks like him. But yeah, I thought that was interesting. Still have to watch Harpoon, Whale Watching Massacre. And this is the first one I'm going to pop in as soon as I can. I want to watch Mutilator. The Mutilator. Because I love the 80s. I think, people might debate this with me, but I think that the 80s are the best decade for everything. The best decade for movie, the best decade for music, Saturday morning cartoons, anything you can think of, the 80s ruled. Even food. Food tasted better in the 80s in my opinion. So I like 80s movies, so I still have to watch this one. This one came out in 1985, so a full year after my wife was born, actually. But this is the first one I want to see. Now this one, this next batch is all movies I picked up from Movie Freak Bazaar. This movie, I remember watching a video a long time ago where Movie John 75, Cyber Ray 1976, and ECW Fan were just sitting talking about VHS pickup videos. They went to a VHS store that was closing down, and they picked up a whole bunch of cheap VHSs. So they talked about this one, and the VHS has a different cover, but this is Innocent Blood. The VHS that they showed out has kind of like this white part over here that looks like someone took a bite out of it. And they were talking about that, and I've never seen anything like that, but I saw this there, and it doesn't have the white thing, but it says it's from the director of An American Werewolf in London. And a long time ago, I remember watching bits and pieces of this movie. I think it's this movie. That it was this vampire chick that, you know, she was fermented because she was vampire and she had to eat people. But the way that she fed is that she was kind of like the Punisher. She would only feed with criminals. So she's eating mob bosses and a made men and stuff like that. And the cops are like, oh, these killings are, you know, gang related. Until one time she goes and tries to eat big mob boss, but she gets interrupted and the mob boss becomes a vampire, and then he realizes he's a vampire and he's like, I'm freaking unstoppable, I'm gonna make all of my generals into vampires. So the vampire chick and this, I don't remember if it was a cop or a reporter, have to stop the mob, and I thought that movie was pretty cool, and I'm hoping it's this one. It kind of looks like it is. So, I want to see the whole thing through. Next one I picked up is, it's only the DVD, but it comes in the Blu-ray case, of Oz the Great and Powerful. went to see this with my wife. We were really excited about this one because I was excited because I like The Wizard of Oz, and I heard that Sam Raimi was directing this. And my wife wanted to see the whimsical thing of Wizard of Oz. And it had a good cast. It had Mila Kunis and Rachel Welch. Not a big James Franco fan. Unless he's in a comedy with Seth Rogen, then he's okay. He was also okay in the Spider-Man movies. But usually I'm not a fan of James Franco. He has a very, very weird acting style. I haven't seen 127 Hours, so they say he's a really good actor in that one. But overall, he always looks weird. And so we went to see it. Visually, it's okay, but it's not that good, honestly. Then I picked up the unrated version of The Wolfman, which is a remake of the 1940s movie with Benicio del Toro, Anthony Hopkins, and Emily Blunt, with Hugo Weaving too. So it had a good cast. I was looking forward to this because I liked the original one with Lon Chaney Jr. and I was like, well, I hate remakes, but it's the Wolfman. Next to vampires, werewolves are my favorite classic monsters. More than zombies, it's vampires, werewolves, and then zombies. And I'm always up for a good werewolf movie. And I was hoping this would be good. I haven't seen the unrated version, so I'm hoping that's a lot better. The main thing that I was disappointed with this one is it has the look, it has a lot of fog, and it has a lot of really cool visuals. But, again, if you watch An American Werewolf in London, that has the most amazing transformation scene. And there's no CG, there's nothing. That's practical. And that thing is, honestly, it's speechless. I'm speechless at how good that transformation scene. So I was hoping to see something like that in this one. And it's all CG. Everything's CG, and it's not that good. But I'm hoping the unrated version offers a little bit more than the theatrical one. Now this one is a movie that I've been trying to track down for a while now. This is a sequel to Cyborg, of Jean-Claude Van Damme movie. But the reason why I wanted to pick this one up is because it stars a very, very, very young Angelina Jolie. And I have an Angelina Jolie collection going. After this one, I'm only missing Maleficent. She has a lot of other dramatical roles, but honestly, the only one I like that is Girl Interrupted. So there's another movie that I was watching on TV that I would like to track down, but I don't know if that's stuck on VHS. But the movie that I needed, that I've been looking for a long, long while to add to my collection, my Angelina Jolie collection, is a movie that I've never seen anywhere, and that's Cyborg 2. So this is a sequel, supposedly, to the Jean-Claude Van Damme movie, and Angelina Jolie plays this cyborg that is a walking, talking bomb, and she realizes she's a bomb, so she wants to take the fight back to her creators. And again, I have a Angelina Jolie collection going, and this is the one that I've had the most trouble tracking down. So now I'm only missing Maleficent, plus whatever other movies might come up, if I'm able to come up with that if I'm able to come across that movie. I don't even know the name. I barely remember the plot, but I know that she was really young and she had short hair, so it must have been during the time she was recording Hackers. So yeah, I might do a Angelina Jolie collection video. I like doing those Tales from the Vargas Vault videos where I talk about chunks of the collection. I would also like to do a comic book one. Now this is a classic that I haven't seen all the way through, but James Rolfe did a video on the best car chases, and he mentioned this one, and it's Bullet with Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen is great. He's great in The Great Escape. He's great in The Blob. I have to actually track down the original Blob. And he's great in The Towering Inferno. I freaking love The Towering Inferno. So I know I like Steve McQueen as an actor. And James Rolfe, like I said, mentioned this amazing car chase scene in this movie. So as soon as I saw that one, I had to pick it up. I'm also going for a complete Al Pacino collection. And I'm missing a couple of his movies, not the key movies, but a couple of his other movies. And what I was missing is Simone, where Al Pacino. I haven't seen this one all the way through either. I've only seen bits and pieces when it's on TV, but basically Al Pacino creates this digital actress model, and everyone was like taken away by this actress, but she's not real, so Al Pacino is like selling her off, but then when they want to do an interview, she can't go in person, so it's only on screen. So, but it's Al Pacino. You gotta love Al Pacino. He's done so many cool roles that I want to get an Al Pacino collection complete. So far it's pretty good, I think. The other one, this one's directed by Oliver Stone, and this is a version I've never seen on DVD. And this is Any Given Sunday. The normal version I've seen doesn't have this Oliver Stone collection thing on top, and it's blue. But this one, it's one of those snap cases, and it has the movie, but it also has an extra disc with special features. And I've never, ever seen a snap case like this. These cardboard snap cases that has a double disc. That's something I've never seen before. So I thought this was pretty cool, and again, it adds to my Al Pacino collection. So yeah, almost done with Al Pacino. Picked up Priest because it's based on a Korean or some sort of Asian manga. And it got an adaptation because, again, Hollywood is devoid of ideas that they adapt anything. But it stars Paul Bettany, and it's with I totally forgot his name. Carl Urban, who was amazing as Dredd. If you haven't watched Dredd, watch Dredd. And it's about vampires. Post-apocalyptic world where vampires and humans are fighting. So it kind of gives me an Underworld vibe, but I have to actually see it. Now this one I bought because it's going to come up in one of my future Horror 101 videos, but this is Draculas Curse, supposedly based on the novel by Bram Stoker. So I was like, meh, I'll pick it up. But it turns out this is an Italian film, and it's not actually a film, it's an Italian miniseries that showcased over there on TV, and it got released here as a movie. So yeah, it's not even a movie. It's a TV miniseries. But again, vampires. I like vampires. Now this one I picked up because it has two really funny actors. I haven't seen this movie, but right now with all the political talk that's going on in the U.S. and we recently like a month ago we went through some elections. I was like, I'm in a mood for some funny electoral thing. So I picked up The Campaign with Will Ferrell and Zach Galifianakis. So yeah. Now this one I'm happy to add because this completes my Cornetto trilogy. If you don't know what the Cornetto trilogy is, it's Edgar Wright, Sean Penn, and Nick Frost both starred and wrote 3 movies designed as an homage to a certain genre. Shaun of the Dead is the zombie genre. Hot Fuzz is the action genre, and The World's End is the sci-fi genre. And I love all 3 of them. This one came out at the same time that This Is the End, the Seth Rogen comedy, came out. And I like that one too. I want to get that one. But this one I enjoyed a lot because it's this group of friends that try to get together and do a pub run. Basically what that is they go, in their little town, they go to every one of the bars that's there. And they go at, drinking it in each bar until they get the last bar, and that's like their goal. But they messed up on the first run, so a lot of years later, they get together and they want to do the pub run, and they realize that their town is being invaded by aliens, and it's amazing. I love it because then when they're fighting the aliens, Nick Frost does a whole bunch of wrestling moves, so he's doing wrestling moves to fight the aliens, and it's freaking amazing. If you liked Hot Fuzz and you like Shaun of the Dead, you're gonna dig this one a lot. It's great. I love this movie a lot, and I needed this movie to complete my Cornetto trilogy, so super happy to have that. This one, it's a blind buy. I know nothing of this movie. I know it's French. That's the only thing I know of this. But this is The Night of the Hunted. Again, know nothing of this movie. It's totally a blind buy. But this art on the back, I was like, I'm gonna get this. I'm gonna get this. Again, have a lot of difficulty watching horror movies. But I like horror movies, so I'm like, I'm gonna get that. Now this one, I know it's not Donnie Yen, so it's not the first movie. But I'm trying to track down Ip Man, the Ip Man series, and who's the trainer of Bruce Lee. They made a whole bunch of movies, and I know they've made 3 with Donnie Yen, and then there's one that focuses at the end of Ip Man's life, and then this is the prequel that focuses on his younger days. So I didn't even know there was a prequel. I know about the older one when he's old because I saw it on TV. And I know the 3 Donnie Yen movies, but I didn't know there was a sequel. So I picked it up. But now I still need to track down the other 4 movies. Now this one it makes no sense. The story makes jack shit sense. It doesn't make any sense. But visually this movie is pretty cool. I like the visuals in this movie. And it's a Zack Snyder movie. A lot of people don't like Zack Snyder. I don't particularly like what he did with Batman v Superman. And that movie also suffers from being cut. It does have a lot of cuts, but visually, I like this movie a lot, and that's Sucker Punch. Again, story-wise, makes no sense. It's like they were trying to copy Inception and make it weird, and it's weird. But visually, I love this thing visually. It has a samurai sequence. It has a sequence with Nazi zombies. I love the visual look of this, even though the movie doesn't make a lick of sense. This one I've been trying to track down for a while, and again, I've seen the Blu-ray on Target. It's $5. It's not that expensive, but I like hunting for things. And this is a Bryan Singer movie, the guy that did the X-Men movies, and this is The Usual Suspects with Kevin Spacey. And I remember watching this movie on TV, and I thought it was amazing. Honestly, I was going to break down and buy the Blu-ray because it has a bunch of special features. But this is the DVD version that has those special features. And again, I could order it online. I could buy it at Walmart. I could buy it at Target. I like coming across the missing movies that I'm missing on DVD. Preferably, because my PlayStation 3 plays Blu-rays, and it upscales the DVDs. DVDs the format that I have the most of, and Blu-rays play DVDs, so screw it. So yeah, pick this one up. Picked up from him Star Trek: The Motion Picture, the Director's Edition. Now, the first Star Trek movie, I will admit, is not good. It's kind of boring, actually. It focuses too long on certain scenes, and I know it's trying to make the Enterprise... There's this really long scene where they're showcasing the Enterprise, and I know they're trying to make it look epic and glorious and so on. But this is not a good movie, honestly. I haven't seen the Director's Edition, but I've heard that it does not help. It actually makes the movie longer and thus a little bit more boring. But... there is a fan theory that says that this movie is the one that introduces the concept or the possible origin of the Borg. It's a very complicated theory that starts with this, and then the thing goes like back in time, and then it sets up the collective, and then that's why in Next Generation when they meet the Borg, everything they're like way more expanded than they would have if it started with this one. So it's a very, very complicated origin theory, but I love the Borg. The Borg is my favorite Star Trek villain. The Borg and the Q from the Next Generation. Actually, from both the Next Generation, I really like them. So yeah, I had to pick this one up because I was missing it from my Star Trek collection. It's the 2-disc. Now it won't open. It's the 2-disc set. and I'm a sucker for special features, and this one has a bunch of special features. It's in the nice, thick DVD case, so I had to pick that one up. For my daughter, this is the DVD, but it comes in the Blu-ray case, Gnomeo and Juliet. This is a cutesy movie. We were watching it on TV the other time with our daughter, and she seems to enjoy it because it's a colorful movie and it has Elton John songs, and she seemed to enjoy it, so it was there and I picked it up because it was cheap. To add to my Nicolas Cage collection, a movie that I've been trying to look for a while and hadn't had any luck finding it until now, Adaptation. So my Nicolas Cage collection is almost complete. From his, the main, I only have the key ones. I only need the more obscure ones that he did, but I'm missing Leaving Las Vegas. That's the key movie that I have not been able to find. Even on Blu-ray, I have never seen that one at Walmart or Target. But Leaving Las Vegas is the one that where he got his Oscar, and that's his best performance in a serious role, and also on him just being Nicolas Cage. He goes all out in that movie, and it's kind of depressing to see how he destroys himself in that film. It's really cool. Vampire's Kiss is his best over the top performance, in my opinion. That and Face Off, I love Face Off, but Leaving Las Vegas is his best performance, I think, overall. And I'm missing that one, but I'm getting there. I'm getting to complete my Nicolas Cage collection. The next one is the unrated cut with a slipcase, because I love slipcases, of Robin Hood with Ridley Scott and Russell Crowe. They work on Gladiator. Gladiator's amazing. This one's not so much, but I haven't seen the unrated cut, so maybe that's better. Now this one I was surprised I got super cheap. This is a compilation of TV episodes. A bunch of fans voted on the Star Trek website a while ago, and they selected the best Borg episodes, the best what was the other one? The best Romulan, the best war episode, something like that. And like I said, I'm a sucker for time travel movies, so or anything to do with time travel. So I picked this 4-disc set. It's 4 discs that has the best, selected by fans, the best time travel episodes in Star Trek. So it has episodes from the original series, Enterprise, Next Generation, Voyager, and Deep Space Nine. And it has a couple with the Borg, and like I said, I freaking love the Borg. And it also has a really cool episode in Deep Space Nine where it's the Tribble episode. If you don't know about Star Trek, it's not gonna make a lick of sense. But the crew from Deep Space Nine travel to go back in time to that episode. So you see Kirk, Spock, and McCoy doing their thing in that episode, while at the same time you see the Deep Space Nine crew kind of like interacting, and it's amazing. If you haven't seen it, definitely recommend it, because it's glorious to see how they work that out. And it has also, like I said, episodes with the Borg, and it has anything with time travel. It has the series finale of Voyager, and it has the series finale of Next Generation. So, and it's 4 discs. I got this for $2, less than $2, and I was like, oh, "Are you sure you have this for $2 and it's 4 discs? Are you sure?" And he's like, "Yeah, everything's in English, because a lot of people won't buy anything if it doesn't have Mexican audio or Mexican subtitles." So I was like, "Yeah, I'll buy it. Yeah, like 4 discs for less than $2, and it has time travel Star Trek. I'll buy it. Hell yeah!" So that was cool. And the last movie I'm going to talk about is something for my daughter, the Tigger Movie. Disney, when they were making these made for DVD episodes, sequels, and so on, they released a crap ton of Tigger, Winnie the Pooh movies. There's the Tigger movie, there's the Piglet movie, there's one with the kangaroo, there's one with a pink elephant, there's like 3 Winnie the Poohs. So we're missing the Piglet movie, we're missing one of the Winnie the Pooh movies, and we're missing the elephant one. So we're hoping our daughter, likes these, until I can get her hooked on this, we're gonna share this with her, and she likes cartoons. If you put her in front of a cartoon, she'll watch it for the most part. So yeah, that was the movie pickup video. Lots of random stuff, a little bit of horror, a little bit of sci-fi, a little bit of animation. So like always, I like to recommend the standout things of the collection, or at least I try to. And I'm gonna recommend The World's End. Love this movie. It's amazing. Like I said, it's part of a trilogy, even though it's not interconnected with the Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead. It's cool. It's amazing. I love The World's End. And I'm going to recommend Star Trek time Travel because I am a fan of time travel. And I like anything to do with time travel. So I'm going to recommend this. Especially the series finale of Star Trek, To All Good Things. That one was pretty cool. That was pretty cool. And there's a classic Star Trek one. I'm gonna look at the disc. I think it's The City on the Edge of Forever, where Dr. McCoy goes back in time and he gets amnesia. So he does something to screw up the world and the history. So there's no more Federation. He done messed up, and there's no Federation. So Kirk and Spock have to travel back in time to stop McCoy, and it's a really cool concept, and it's a really tragic episode. So yeah, recommend this one too. If you like sci-fi, watch it. If you like Star Trek, watch it. If you're not into either time travel or Star Trek, you might not enjoy this, but I did, so I'm recommending it because it's my video. So yeah, thanks so much for watching, guys, and until I see you all again, this is Vargas XX78 thanking you and signing out.